Hello everybody and welcome back to Rover project. Oh, it's been very busy at the moment. I've had problems with the Rover again. I noticed the battery's been going flat quite a bit lately, and I know it's not a very good battery. But it turned out when I put a multimeter on the battery with the engine running, the alternator wasn't charging. So, further ado, I've got a brand new alternator in this box. Hang on. Oh. There we go. I've already looked at it because it came yesterday, but I couldn't fit it yesterday because it was pouring down with rain. The weather's not brilliant today, it's a bit on the cold side. That's the company I got it off of. In the car, so I've got the receipt and everything out there. There's the alternator there. And I'm going to fit that today, and hopefully the battery will start charging properly. And yeah, because I've been busy doing other things. As you remember from one of the last videos, I was doing the exhaust on my car as well as my son's head gasket on his Rover 45. That had to be done because that was all in bad shape. At the same time, I also had a puncture on my 75 on the right hand side back wheel, which my son, I took the wheel off and gave it to my son. He got it done, mended the next day. But when I had the car jacked up, I realised my coil spring had snapped. And here's my coil springs down here. I noticed my coil spring had snapped. And it didn't just break in one place, it broke in actually 3 places. So I had to replace my springs as well as the other side. Even though this one looked alright, it was broken down the bottom. So I had to replace those. As well as, like I said, my son's car, which the radiator was completely naff really. And as you can see down there with all the goo coming out of it, you can tell he had a terrible head gasket gone. So yeah, I've been busy doing one thing and another. So, like I said, I got new springs on my 75 now, and then we're going to fit this alternator on this P6. So I'm going to try and rig up the camera somewhere so you can watch me put this back on. It won't be a perfect shot because the way down, whereabouts it is. Let's see if I can put it there. You won't see a lot, but you'll see something. Sorry about that everybody, I didn't realise the batteries had died and I've just stuck new ones in. Right, well I've got the alternator roughly on, I've just got to tighten it all up. where it's gone. Where is it? Right. What's going on here then? That is not tight. For God's sake, what is going on here? The wrong pulley on there. I'll come back in a little while a minute. I've got something wrong here. Hello everybody, and the problem was I had to take my pulley off of my old alternator to put onto this new one, because even though it says it comes with a nice shiny new one, it was too short. It went nowhere near the length I needed. So now hopefully when I fit it, it should all fit. Because I've had to bang this in because it was too far out. So it's exactly the same as that one there, look. So I've had to fart around at the moment. So you pay all this money and they say it comes with the original, you know, the proper pulley and everything out for you. It's the wrong one. Too short. The only way of doing it was, unless I was to pack it out with washers. So burn it out to about there. I mean, that's quite short. If you look at that, to that one, it's quite short. So it's a long way off. Which means then, if I had packed it out with washers, it would have sat about up there somewhere, like that. About that much away from it, packed out with washers. And then you might have not got the locker on it neither. You know, what sits in there. So, bit of a pain in the ass. Anyway, let's get this thing back on, and hopefully this time we'll have it right. I've got to straighten that out as well because I've got a nick in it. Alright, hello again everybody. Right, well I've got the alternator back on, the pulley's lined up. Just putting this top bolt in. I'll put the belt on, connect the wires up, hopefully it'll work. All my luck's been running today, probably won't. Sun's trying to fight to come out. Yesterday was terrible. All it did was piss down all day. I just hate having a great big long bolt which you've got to thread through more than that. Ever simple life. See what you're doing? There he is. Little bugger. Another clipper in. Right. That looks all okay. Tools out the way. Right, make sure the camera don't fall off. Let's see if she starts. Okay, I don't think I'm going to have much luck with that battery, so. But I have got an ignition light now, which I didn't have before. The ignition light's gone out, so chips half in. A little lumpy at the moment. I still haven't got round to tuning it up properly yet. I had to jump it. Let's just get it warmed up a little bit. So when you think you've near enough got all the work done on the car and you're going to crack on and do something like the tyres and the bodywork, you get one stupid thing go, and that has to be an alternator. The annoying thing is I got a shed full of alternators and not one has fit this car because they're all the wrong side. I mean, I could have took it all apart, you know, took it out of, you know, all the good bits out of one and put it into my old alternator, but it ain't worth it. For the cost of what it was, I mean, it was only 45 quid for a new alternator, £10 postage. I'll get my multimeter on the battery in a minute and see if that's charging up. Probably the next thing, it'll probably run out of petrol, I expect. She's sounding a lot sweeter, but she does need tuning on that carburetor. She still smells a little rich. Right, I'm gonna go and get my multimeter a minute. Disconnect this battery. Just gonna rest you there. A boring look, I know. Okay, right, multimeter. Earth. lovely, lovely, lovely. Because the other alternator, I couldn't get no charge from it at all. No ignition light. There wasn't no ignition light come on to say the alternator was naffed or anything like that, or to say it wasn't charging, which I've had that problem before. I had that go on a Montego one time. Oh, she came on a little bit then, flickered a little bit then, because I pushed the choke in too soon. Flickered again then. She wants to turn it up a little bit on the tick over, I reckon, but like I said, the carburetor does need tuning still. I mean, that's how much temperature she's raised up. She probably could do with a little tweak. The trouble is, it's always the same, that you tweak it up and then you find out you tweaked it up too much when the engine's warmed up and then it's over revving. Sound good, did it? That wasn't good. Unless I've run out of petrol. I've run out of petrol. Yeah, there you go. So I tune it up and then I run out of petrol. And obviously the petrol gauge is telling me lies. Oh, and the ignition light's on, so that's good. But the fuel gauge seems to be stuck up a little bit. Like it's telling me there's some fuel left in there. Oh well, that's not bad. I've got what I wanted done today. I've sorted that, and we know the alternator's charging, so I have to go and get some petrol again. But it's definitely out of petrol. I must get round and getting that bloody starter motor done. Yeah, definitely out of fuel. Yeah, it's definitely out of fuel. I knew she'd run out eventually. So that fuel gauge is a little bit on the... that's going down now. Because I've turned the ignition off. But when you turn the ignition back on... raising up a little bit. But the reserve tap is out. I can't pull it out anymore. But I'm glad of that. The ignition light's all working now. So... that's another job done, another tick off the box. Way over budget now on this car. Usually when I buy a car, I like to work on a budget of how much I'm going to spend on the car. In case anything happens and I think, oh, you know, falling ill or whatever, and I want to sell the car on. And so I just like to sell it on and get my money back. I'm not looking to profit, I'm just looking to get my money back. So at the moment, with buying this car, the exhaust... the tyres got to be changed over yet still. Suspension had to be done. The alternator now. What else did I buy? I bought a load of other bits and pieces as well. Oh god, my mind's gone. I can't remember. Oh, a new rubber seal for the wing. Some new panels. I really can't remember what else I bought. But I think the total at the moment, going up into budget, is nearly £3,000. Well, probably over that now with everything I've bought at the moment for the car. Yeah, because I had to redo all the engine tonight. That's it. That's why I had to spend money on the engine. So I had to take all the sump off and everything like that. Do the crank oil seals. Rocker cover gasket needed replacing. Yeah, so it was quite a bit of money I had to be spent on it. So I think it's over £3,000 now. So I'm way over budget now. So, but it's one of those things where I've put so much money into the car now, I'm going to have to keep going. Because I probably wouldn't get it back if I was to sell the car. Because somebody will come out and they'll look at the bodywork and say, nah, the doors look a bit ganky and stuff like that. But even though I've got panels and everything to go with the car if I was to sell it, but I don't want to sell it, I'm just saying, if I was to sell it. Yeah, but we're all done. We're looking good now anyway. But like I said, it's one little job after another. I mean, it's like my 75. I mean, if I didn't get that puncher and take the back wheel off to realise that the rear coil spring had snapped, I'd still would have been driving around with a damaged coil spring right up to for the next MOT. And then it would have failed for the MOT, and then I would have to have forked out money on that then for the MOT, take the car away, do all the work, well, order the parts in, do all the work. It's all time. So by noticing it was gone, I managed to get it done. Well, I got it done this week actually. I've done it myself. My son's car I'd done, finished it. I think it was last week I finished his car. It might have been the week before that, I can't remember now. Yeah, so it's one thing after another at the moment with this poor old P6. I'm just going to tighten up those top alternator bolts a bit more, just make sure they're definitely tight. But yeah, as you can see, she's definitely run out of petrol. There's not much, you know. So she's definitely out of fuel now. So I'll have to go and get another gallon. I don't keep a lot in here anyway. My inner wings are looking a bit all dusty and dirty again. They need all washing down again. But she's all okay on coolant. The oil's all okay because that's all brand new. All the brakes are all working still. Brake lights are all working. I mean, the good thing is now, I mean, I've done the alternator, so hopefully all the lights and everything will be brighter now, because when the alternator was gone, I put the lights on and you can see they were dim as can be, so it was just draining the battery. So we're done. That's another job done for today. But it's quite simple anyway to do the alternator. Fiddly, but it's quite simple. You just undo that one, loosen that one a little bit, undo that one all the way out, and the two underneath. Pull your plug out for the wire and pop off. I didn't need to remove all the heat shield or anything like that. Some people do, but there wasn't no need. You can roughly get in there if you've got small little hands. You can get in there. I mean, I got fat fingers but long fingers, so I can get the nuts in right up underneath and get them on. But it is a little fiddly job, but it's one of those things, I suppose. But yeah, there we are. Just got to wait for the next thing to naff up on it now, I suppose. But hopefully I might get some nice weather this week, and because I want to start doing the body work. Like I said, I got two rear wings to go on, a front wing to go on, because this one down here is all gone there. I can't really be bothered to mend it. Even though my wife bought me a new MIG welder yesterday when we went shopping. So she bought me a new MIG welder. Nothing fancy, nothing special. Just a small little MIG welder, 120 amp, which is just roughly good just for doing the odd little bit of repair on a panel on a door or wing or something on a car. Because my other MIG welder has been in the shed now for God knows how many years, and when I looked at it, the wire had completely rusted up. I can't be bothered to fight to get it out. So she bought me a new MIG welder, and it's only a small one, and it's easier to carry, and it sits lovely and under the stairs in the cupboard. So how much more can I say? This is the thing, see? Gotta have a good wife to treat you nicely sometimes, buy you nice things. So I was well chuffed. I didn't really expect it, actually. I was looking at it in the shop, and the next minute she looked around and said, "Do you want it?" And I said, "Well, I could do with it." And next minute it was in the trolley, and we were paying for it. So job done. Lovely, lovely. Anyway, that's it for today. The only things I want to say today is a big thank you to everybody who subscribed. I think I'm up to about 93 or 94 subscribers. So as a big thank you to everybody who subscribed. Thank you to everybody who's commented. The comments are brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I mean, I love when I got the time to answer them back. So a big thank you to everybody who comments, subscribers. Gosh, I can't think of anything else at the moment. But super duper thank you to everybody who supported me to get this car done, because at this rate, I think it's about another 3 months, and I've owned the car about a year, and it's only been sat there. It hasn't moved. So yeah, well, dear. Like I said, it's one thing after another. I mean, if you remember, I was filming doing the exhaust, and I had problems with the exhaust, and then when I finally did get the car started up, If you remember, there was water running down from the front, and it turned out to be this pipe here just wasn't tightened up enough on the clip, and it's a brand new hose. It just wasn't tightened up enough on the clip, and it was spurting out water from the sides, so it just needed that extra. Well, actually I put a new clip on it actually, so it was a bit ganky, the one that was on there, so I put a new clip on there and tightened it all down, so it seems to be all pressurizing properly. But it's just one thing after another, isn't it? I mean, it's little things. I mean, the amount of cars I've restored in the past, and you've got to go around and recheck everything. But I mean, like I said, this is a rolling restoration. It's not a full-blown restoration. Last time I done a full-blown restoration was on Ford Capris, a Ford Zephyr, and a Ford Zodiac Mark IV. Because I was a Ford person as well as a Rover person. But Fords were always cheaper and easier to get the bits for. But yeah, there we go. Look at that. I'm loving that. It got an ignition light now. I have to put a little bit of black paint on there, haven't I? Got a little bit coming through if you look there. A little mark there. Some of the black paint had come off. Oh, I'm loving that. That's brilliant. That's cheered me up now. That's done. I was expecting to be some other stupid problem. So, put all this away now, I suppose. Move my tools away. Go in, have a cup of tea, and wait for the missus to come home at 8 o'clock tonight and tell her the car's done. And hopefully try and get these tyres done. I've been meaning to get them done, but every time I go to do something, well, get some work done on this one, I got to do work on another car. I mean, my poor Rover 800 at the moment, I haven't even had a chance to touch it, and the Lada I haven't even had a chance to touch. So all the work at the moment has been on my 75, my son's 45, and the P6. Still, I could have filmed it really with me doing the springs on the 75. I did start filming my son's head gasket on his 45, but the camera just ate through the batteries, so, and it was a long job, so I didn't bother, you know, putting it on. I got it on. I got some of it on the computer, but I didn't keep it really, because I didn't want to bore you too much. I mean, I'm boring you now with all the rabbit. Anyway, ta-ta for now.